What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are finally back with another bodybuilding news video. I say another, but really it's the first one in quite some time. But Hadi Choopan has spoken out finally because there's been that internet blackout in Iran. I don't know if they're allowed to have internet for a couple of hours a day or what the actual deal is over there in Iran right now with all the political drama that is going on over there, but he has finally spoken out, and we do have some exclusive information on this as well. So make sure you stay tuned to this and IFBBAMA.org, because I don't know if you guys saw that actually Lee Priest did a video on this and Hadi Choopan responded. So we'll be getting to that in just a moment as well. But you can see here, this is courtesy of the BTS page, Behind the Stage TV. And Hadi says, "It's better to break my silence time." Now, things are going to be a little bit lost in translation here, but he said, "It's better to break my silence time, which I need to explain with respect and clarity. I have said it hundreds of times, and I repeat again, officials were not a number for me. They are not, and I was never affiliated to any government entity," which is an important thing to note because the photo came out of Hadi Choopan with the Ayatollah on his phone, and that caused a lot of controversy. There was, poo emojis being posted all over the photos that were being posted by the Mr. Olympia page and a bunch of other pages as well. And hopefully I've been live for a little longer than 4 seconds. It says I've been live for right now, fingers crossed. But regardless, hopefully you guys are hearing me now at least. But Hadi Choopan seems like he's going to be moving forward and hopefully moving on to the Arnold Classic. And I do have some exclusive info on that as well. Here's a bit more of what Hadi had to say. We'll read a little bit more and see if there's anything of note in here. He says, "And I always called myself a soldier. Neither did I claim to be heroes, nor did I claim that I was a hero. But by claiming in the world, I said that I was Iranian and I lived Iranian. And I knew my whole existence from people, and I know that as I was able to see." It sort of doesn't translate that well. It mentions Hadi Shepherd does not belong to this year, last year, and a few years ago. Belongs to years of suffering and pain, loneliness and prejudice. It was neither indifference nor fear nor companionship. Every word can be misused, and I testify to God. But basically, he talks a lot about, I think it's the best response he can give without going fully against the Iranian government, but saying, "Hey, I'm still Iranian. I'm here for the people." And hopefully this garners back a bit of support for Hadi Choopan, because he's copped a lot. So he goes on about, a few different things in here, a little bit hard to understand and break down, but Hadi Choopan has finally spoken, and he says, "Hoping for calmer days and with a heart of people." But let's head over to Lee Priest's actual Instagram page, because Lee Priest put up a video, and Hadi Choopan not only responded on the post to Lee Priest, but he also sent Lee Priest some DMs, which I've become privy to, which I will not be revealing. But
mowing. I thought I was done with Red.
Oh, let me connect my AirPods. So hopefully you guys can actually hear this. Fingers crossed. Connect my AirPods to this so we're not getting any background noise. So fingers crossed this works now.
Guess what? You don't know what it's like over there either, you dumb fuck, because you're not in the country. Some are in Budapest, some are in England, some are in America. You're not even in Iran. Yet you think you're bodybuilders. I see pictures of you in the gym posing with your shirts off.
Let me know if you guys can.
So you're young, healthy, athletic, strong men. Why aren't you over there fighting for your Iranian people then? Telling Hadi he should do this. At least Hadi, being the champion he is and the money he has, he could live in any country he wants. But he loves his country. He loves the people of Iran, and he chooses to live there. You little fucking cowards fled. Little tail between your fucking legs, whether your parents took you or not. You's fucking fled to get away, to have freedom. And now you're going to talk about a guy that lives there? When you are too coward to go back and fight for your people? Oh, you can write what you want on the fucking internet and talk all this big game, but you can't fucking go over there. Why not? You're healthy, you're young, you're strong. And you're saying this person stood up and got killed. So should Hadi. Well, why don't you lead by example, all you big fucking shit talkers? Get a ticket, go over there, fight for your people, and die. But don't worry, your sacrifice will be well noted. We shall honour you for dying for your people. If you're not going to do that, if you're not going to get on a plane and go back to your country and help them, then shut the fuck up.
Okay, so Lee Priest is trying to get me demonetized even when he's not on the show by dropping F-bombs and whatnot. But Lee makes some good points because the Iranian people went hard after Hadi Choopan, and he was really in a no-win situation because if he speaks against the government, are there risks to his family's lives? Are there risks to his friends? Are there risks to his life? I don't know. I don't know the dynamics exactly over there, but I'd be scared to go against the Iranian government. So Lee Priest speaks out here, and I think that, it's a good thing that we actually have people getting behind Hadi Choopan in this situation. And Hadi did go on to say as well that the photo, which he was, that is, I suppose he's copped a lot over, was actually taken out of context. So whether that was his lock screen or whether it was just a photo on his phone, it seems like it was an old photo and it was taken out of context. And Hadi sort of went over all that as well. Now, I do have word on whether Hadi will be competing at the Arnold Classic. Now, that's going to be revealed, hopefully. Lee's okay with revealing that from the DMs on an upcoming episode of IFBB AMA. So make sure you head over to ifbbama.org, follow them on YouTube, and check out mine and Lee's podcast over there, Bodybuilding and Banter, because we'll have more information over there as well. So good news that Hadi Choopan, has been able to speak out, and hopefully he does garner some support and wins back some of those Iranian fans, because in the past it was mostly Iranians saying that people have no idea and Hadi should be Mr. Olympia every year. And now it seems like more like we're sticking up for Hadi, people outside of Iran, and then the Iranian fans are against Hadi. So we'll have to see what develops here, and hopefully everyone in Iran is as safe as possible and is doing as well as possible. And shout out to everyone in the comments as well. My beautiful girlfriend. We've got Lee Priest in here as well. The man himself. I didn't realize Lee was actually there. We've got Dylan asking me to show my hog, which I won't. And we will have actually a podcast coming up in 10 minutes after this if you are watching live on Dylan's channel, Project Bodybuilding. As much as he ribs me, I'll give him that little bit of a shout out there. So that's it for that story. In our next story, we've actually got an update from Joe Palacios, who I'm a huge fan of. I'll bring up his latest updates. He's 305 pounds. Just give me 1 second to pull that update up. Share screen. Let me just find it if I can. That must be there. Okay, so we've got Joe Palacios, as you should be able to see there. He's 305.4 pounds right now. This is a guy that came in last year, when the year prior he placed, I think, 14th in his pro debut. He actually, 14th in his pro debut, and I was sort of predicting like, hey, he can't jump up that much. The dude went on to get second in, I think it was the Texas Pro. He actually beat out Quentin Araya, who was very close to qualifying for the Olympia as well. The only man holding him back was Jordan Hutchinson. And Joe made some huge improvements. He is a guy that's just got so much muscle on his frame. We'll go through a few of these updates here. And when you see him in an off-season scenario, you go, whoa, he's huge. There's a few deficiencies there in the physique. You might say, oh, the quads aren't quite as big as we want to see. But once he dials it in, he instantly becomes, more aesthetic overall. And he has a phenomenal back. So his back double bicep is, honestly, like once he dials that in and that waist comes in, he looks phenomenal. Coached by Justin Compton, and whatever they're doing, it's the right thing, because he is one of the true mass monsters of the modern era. And we're getting used to guys saying that they're 350 pounds or 340 pounds and things like that. And that's guys that are normally like 6 foot plus at least. This guy is, I don't know how tall Joe actually is, but he's not 6 foot. I don't believe so, at least anyway. And if he is, he's, packing the muscle very, very well, and probably looks lighter than he is. But we've got Lee Priest watching live. What's up, Lee? And yeah, Joey's just looking really, really good. I actually did a podcast with him yesterday on John Livier's channel, Seriousness and Silliness. Encourage everyone to go over and check that out. But Joe is just an absolute mass freak at the moment, which is cool to see. And you can see here, like, he's not completely out of shape. There are some abs there. He's got a little bit of intercostals and serrata showing there, and just absolutely huge. I love his side tricep shot, and he's able to pull that waist in an off-season scenario. So once he gets to contest time, that comes in. The chest is like got that curl, which you don't always see on guys nowadays. And I want to go to, I think there was, not sure if it was on his page, but there was a progression photos. This is 2023, first time he hit 300 pounds, and you look at him now hitting 300 pounds, it's a completely different look. He's added tremendous amounts of muscle. And when you see him from 5 years ago, you're like, oh, it's a completely different dude. And he was a big guy here, but his aesthetics have, obviously he's got more body fat here, but his aesthetics have improved out of sight. And some of these guys, like, once they add muscle, they actually get more aesthetic because the waist, they're able to keep the waist a similar size, and just the muscle comes out, from everywhere else, and it just makes the waist look smaller, especially with the legs as well. He needed to bring his quads up, and he's well and truly been able to do that quite a lot. And you can see the aesthetics have improved a lot. I think even if Joe had the same amount of body fat he had here, aesthetically, he would look a lot better currently. So shout out to Joe. Shout out to what he's doing. And I think that he's going to be a guy to qualify for the Olympia in 2026. And I think he can make a real impact, because you saw what Jordan Hutchinson did at the Olympia. I think he was about 12th place, give or take a spot. And I think Joe can, get to that level and maybe even improve upon that. And last year's Olympia was stacked. Like, the guys outside the top 10, I think it was probably the best I've seen guys look outside the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. So super, super excited for Joe coming into next year. I'll see if I can just, I might just search from here actually. Go on Anthony Williams, because this is a guy that is a dark horse for the Arnold Classic coming up. He won the Arnold Amateur last year. He beat Eric Janicki, who's actually, went and competed in a pro show last year and placed 4th, I believe it was. And Anthony Williams beat him. And I don't want to say he beat him in convincing fashion, but I'd say he handily beat Eric Janicki last year. And people looking at this guy and saying, oh, he hasn't got enough muscle or whatever. This is a tall dude. He's not short. He's got great aesthetics, very, very small waist. And look at that ab and thigh. I don't think too many people are going to beat him in the entire Arnold Classic lineup in that ab and thigh pose. The front double is tremendous. And with a few years, man, like, Anthony Williams could do anything. He could be a Mr. Olympia contender. I believe he's trained by John Jewett as well. And I'll read what he says here. This was posted one day ago. He says, a light in the ass, 276 pounds this morning. This is the first time I felt no pressure going into a show, and I've been able to do my thing. Definitely the most fun I've had in a prep as well. I'm really trying to take these last few weeks in and live in the moment. And I think that's a great way to go about things, because Anthony Williams, like you said, no pressure really going to this show. No one's expecting a lot out of this guy, and he's just looking tremendous. So I'm excited to see his pro debut. Obviously making a pro debut, at a hard contest, but look at that. He's not really missing anything. Yeah, you could say overall a little bit more size onto the frame. We want to tighten that back up a little bit, but this is 6 weeks out, so he's really in a perfect position. Conditioning looks good, and I think he can beat guys in this lineup. How many can he beat? I'd say up to 3, probably up to about 3-4 guys, which in an Arnold Classic lineup, and not a big lineup, I think it's about 12 or 13 guys maximum. I think a top 10, a top 9, maybe even a top 8 is possible for Anthony Williams, which is really, making your mark on a pro level. And I think at the Arnold Classic, you get paid for that as well. There's actually, see if I can go to it. I'll find it on Beyond the Stage TV. I'll go to that page now. I believe they actually had something up where it had the Arnold Classic prize money breakdown, which is something I've been waiting to see. And I get disappointed when the Olympia don't put it out and other contests don't put that out. You can see here for the top 3, 750,000 for first, 250,000 for second, and 150,000, which is more than the Arnold Classic used to pay for first place, even recently. I think 4 years ago, it wasn't even at this amount. And then at the Arnold Classic UK, 250,000 for first, 125,000 for second, and third place is still $100,000, which is extremely generous. They should be very happy for that. And the Classic Physique, it's going to be the highest paid Classic Physique contest ever. We've got $100,000 for first place, $50,000 for second place, $25,000 for third place. And then what division is this here? Oh, the Arnold Classic UK for Classic Physique, 40,000 for first, 25 for second, and 15,000 for third. And I hope the Arnold Classic continues this as well, because if they're able to continue this, then it's going to get more competitors, that are even not at the very top of the class, but, in that top 6, top 7 at the Olympia in the Classic Physique, which we love to see. Men's Physique, 30,000 at the Arnold for first, 15,000 at the Arnold UK for first. You got the Bikini, same prize money as the Men's Physique. You got the Wellness, same prize money, it seems like. Same for Fitness, and I think that's really good. I think they're really good numbers. I would love to see the entire lineup, what they get paid, because Antoine Valiant, I remember he got 7th at the Arnold, and he's like, oh, I got like $8,000 or $10,000, which I think should be highlighted because it's a good amount of money. And some of these lower placings in the Arnold, outside of like first place, or even first place now, they're getting paid more than at the Olympia. So I'm surprised maybe we don't have a few more names in a few of these lineups, especially the Classic Physique. But I think we're going to see that next year and the year following. It takes a few years for these guys to, I suppose, like establish like, hey, they pay really good money for lower placings. So yeah, it's going to be a very exciting. You see a few of the updates here from a few of the Classic Physique guys, including Sam Sulik, Menegate. We've got Mamoli here as well. And I'm not sure of this dude's name. I apologize to him. But we're going to go to the latest update from Rafael Brandao, who has sort of copped a little bit of criticism. I'm going to jump off here in a second. I will be going on Dylan's podcast, Project Bodybuilding. But Rafael as some people call him. Some people call him Rafael Brandao. Some people call him Rafael Brandao. So I don't know what this dude's name is in reality, because I've heard both. But he's looking very, very good. Now, some people have made the comparison and the complaint that Rafael hasn't really made any improvements. Now, this is a guy that I think finished in 3rd or 4th at the Arnold Classic just 2 years ago, bringing a great shape. He had I don't know if it was a few health issues. I think it was like some gut issues that Rafael had that sort of kept him out for a little bit. But he's back, and even bringing what he brought previously is a very, very good physique. Here we go. Here's something Lee saying. He could have been reading something about leader, can't judge by one pick. I'm not sure what that one. Yeah. You're saying about obviously Hadi Choopan there, Lee. Totally agree. And BT Dusty saying about Joe probably needs to adjust some poses. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, yeah, and Anthony Williams reminds you of Cormier's physique. I think he does too a bit, actually. Quite a bit. But yeah, anyway, back to Rafael Brandao, whatever, Rafael. Still looks very, very good. Kept his aesthetics. And I'd prefer a guy to maybe not gain quite as much in terms of like just pure mass. And blow out their waist a little bit. And then you're like, well, you can't really get that back. I'd rather a guy go up slowly. And I think this look is what the IFBB wants right now. It's super aesthetic. It's round. And as long as he brings the conditioning, he's going to be on. Now, Nick Strength and Power, I heard him actually mention that he thinks Rafael may be, he said he's heavier, the same amount of time out than previous years, but he said maybe he's not in as good condition. The conditioning to me here looks right where it needs to be this far out from a contest, 5 weeks out, or whatever it is right now. I believe it's 5 weeks out. I think this is a good look for 5 weeks out. I mean, you can see the details. 5 weeks is a long period of time. I remember my preps were like 8 to 10 to 12 weeks. And, that would be, halfway through my prep or more, at 5 weeks out. So you can definitely do a lot in 5 weeks. And I think 5 weeks, this is the perfect 5 week out look, because some guys nowadays, like Samson Dowder at last year's Olympia, and, we've seen it many other times before, guys peak too early. And when they peak too early, they can't hold on to what they've got. So I think this is a great look for Rafael. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he brings at the 2026 Arnold Classic. he could be the guy that's battling with Brandon, maybe. Maybe he could battle with the guys like Martin if he really comes in shredded. Not sure if he's quite there yet, but he is a taller guy. So once he stands on stage, if he does have that few more pounds of muscle, then Raphael can definitely do a bit at the 2026 Arnold Classic. So I'm excited for that. Now, one more story I did want to discuss. It's I'll leave this on the screen right now, what we've got up here. But Bob Ciccarelli, on a recent episode of the Voice of Bodybuilding podcast, he discussed and sort of mentioned very briefly, and he said, oh, but there's more information to come on that. There's apparently going to be a channel, or he suggested there might be a channel dedicated to IFBB pro shows like a NBA League Pass or F1 TV or whatever. So I sort of said IFBB TV because it seems like that's what's going to happen. And I hope with IFBB TV, they have this pay-per-view where you pay X amount per month, or for a year you pay $100 or something like that. To make bodybuilding really big, if they made it free for the first year, that would be huge. And you could charge sponsors a premium on that, because I think people would start following bodybuilding a lot more. More of the casuals would be, oh, yeah, I'll tune into that contest if it's on and it's free. Just that payment, even if it's $10, will turn so many people away. I think you could sell sponsorships and make more money that way. And I hope the IFBB does that, or they charge, nothing for the smaller shows and then maybe something bigger for the Olympia and the Arnold, if they're able to tee that up. But I think whether it's 2026 or 2027, I think that would be a great move from the IFBB Pro League. And I think it's going to happen. And we've been suggesting it for years. And yeah, fingers crossed that happens. And what's up, Marcus, my man? What's good, Xavier? Love the rebranding colors. Thank you, my man. And I'm about to jump on a podcast, I believe, with Marcus and Dylan now. So I better wrap this thing up. Thank you, guys. I will be back with regular bodybuilding news videos, not just lives, but I will be going live twice a week. So make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on anything from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And I am having a contest right now with Dylan of Project Bodybuilding to see who can get basically more views. We've got a system worked out because I have more subscribers. And we're also having a transformation challenge. I'm doing the old school labs transformation challenge. So yeah. And Dylan, obviously a huge fan of Raphael. He's cooked, no gains. And then someone else saying Raf prob top 3. I don't know about top 3 juiced up, but I think he can definitely be top 5 and mix it up with a few of those guys. I'm a huge fan of Raphael. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. My name is Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.